Hello everyone. Last class we had discussed about the brain. This class will discuss about the spinal cord. Spinal cord is more related to the brain, which is in fact the continuation of medulla oblongata, which is a part of the brain. So the spinal cord is protected inside the vertebral column. You all know that, right? Like the brain, the spinal cord is also covered by meninges. Okay, brain has meninges, which is three-layered. The central canal seen in the center of the spinal cord is also filled with cerebrospinal fluid. Then it has white matter seen outside and gray matter seen inside. Okay, whereas this is gray matter and the outside part is called white matter. And this is ventral root, that is the front root, and the dorsal root. See, the brain is connected to the spinal cord like this. It looks like somewhat like a worm, right? There are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. 31 pairs of spinal nerves and 12 pairs of cranial nerves are present. The dorsal root and the ventral root join to form the spinal nerves. Okay, spinal sensory impulses reach the spinal cord through the dorsal root. Motor impulses go out of the spinal cord through the ventral root. Impulses from different parts of the body are transmitted to and from the brain through the spinal cord. It also coordinates the repeated movements during walking, running. So what they're saying is the sensory impulses, like whatever sensation impulses has to be generated to the spinal cord, will go from the ventral root. And the motor impulses like actions like walking, running, and all, will go from the dorsal root. Okay, that's it. And the spinal cord has the structure, this section of the spinal cord will have a central canal where cerebrospinal fluid, in short, it is called CSF. Okay, CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, is filled in the central canal of the spinal cord, and then it has inner part is gray in color, outer part is white in color, and it also appear to be having a meninges. So you know what is white matter, right? White matter in the sense the place is covered by myelin sheath. That's so next we'll study about the reflex pathway. Okay. So observe the pictures. There's a fly. There's a fly that is approaching a girl, and a boy has stepped on a thorn. What is his reflex action? Let's see. Accidental and involuntary response towards this man. Like when you're in danger, the thing which you do, like that is involuntary. You're not doing it by voluntarily, but you are doing it involuntary. That is called reflex action. They do not happen consciously. So how do they work? Let's see. See, if you're touching a stimuli, like whatever it is, be it a thorn, be it an animal, be it an insect, be it fire, we're touching it, the receptor will sense it and generate impulses, and the impulses will transmit through the sensory neuron and reach the interneuron junction where it connects to the motor neuron. The motor neuron carries it to the related muscle and the action and withdraws. Whatever action has to be taken place will happen. Okay, that's it. Here you have right stimulus, receptor, sensory neuron, interneuron, motor neuron, and uh, whatever related muscle. The reflex arc is a pathway. This definition you should study. One, this definition. the reflex actions recognition, the accidental and involuntary responses towards the stimuli are called reflex actions. And then reflex arc is a pathway of the impulses in the reflex action. That's it. It's a pathway of the impulses in the reflex action. That's it. Mainly, spinal cord acts as the center of the reflex action. Not the brain, but the spinal cord acts as the center of the reflex action. And such reflexes are called spinal reflexes. But all reflexes are not under the control of spinal cord. But mainly, this is the place where reflex actions are taking place. Don't we blink our eyes when light suddenly falls on our eyes or objects move towards them? This is also a reflex action. Like when you're sitting and um, suddenly some object is moving towards your eyes, you involuntarily close your eyes. That is also a reflex action. Okay, this is also a reflex action. Such reflexes are under the control of cerebrum. Okay, small reflexes are under the control of cerebrum, and the skeletal related reflexes are under the control of spinal cord. It makes sense, right? Yeah. Let's study about the autonomous nervous system. Till then, we were studying about central central nervous system. I've told you before there are two types of nervous system. See here it is. Types of central nervous system and autonomous nervous system. Central has brain. Central has brain and spinal cord. Autonomous has spinal nerves and cerebral cranial nerves. Let's see. There are there may be instances in your life when you felt sudden fear or sadness. Write down some of them. Seeing a snake, watching cartoons, watching series will make you happy, right? And then going for a trip will make you happy. So, what are the changes that takes place during emergency? Heartbeat increases and salivation decreases and blood pressure increases and your pupil dilates. So the two types of autonomic nervous system will be sympathetic and parasympathetic. Shouldn't these changes return to normal state? Yes, it will return when you are normal. Activities that take place beyond the conscious level that are controlled by the autonomic nervous system. The sympathetic system and the parasympathetic system. Oh, sorry. The division, the two divisions in the nervous system would be central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Okay. What did I say? In the peripheral nervous system, there are two types. One is autonomic, one is somatic. And under the autonomic, there is sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is when you're frightened, and parasympathetic is normally. So when you're frightened, imagine when you're frightened, the pupil is a hole in the eyes. The central part of the iris has a small hole where light passes through. The pupil that dilates. It makes sense, right? When you're scared, pupil will dilate to see the thing clearly so that you can take actions. Production of saliva decreases. You're scared, obviously, production of saliva will decrease. Trachea expands, like you will breathe more. Heartbeat increases, so the blood runs fast and gives you energy. Gastric activities slow down. Gastric activities slow down digestion, whatever it is there. That will slow down and glycogen is converted to glucose so that it gives you energy. Peristalsis in the intestine slows down. Urinary bladder regains normal state. Production of hormones increases. All these things happen. And then parasympathetic, the pupil in the eye contracts, it becomes small. Production of saliva increases, trachea contracts, heartbeat becomes normal, gastric activities become normal, glucose is converted to glycogen. Glucose is mainly stored as glycogen in the liver. Okay, peristalsis in the intestine becomes normal, urinary bladder constricts. Usually, urinary bladder will be in the constricted form. Production of hormones decreases. The hormones which they're talking is adrenaline and noradrenaline. That will decrease. That's it. That's it. And then you have to write what happens to all these. Pupil dilates, salivary gland, saliva decreases, the ear increases, trachea expands, trachea contracts, heartbeat increases, decreases, stomach, gastric activity slows down, becomes normal, liver. What does liver do? Glucose is converted to Glycogen is converted to glucose. Here it is glycogen. Glucose is converted to glycogen. Intestinal activities such as digestion slows down, becomes normal. Urinary bladder becomes normal and it contracts. Here it is ulta, urinary bladder. So nervous system and its disorder. Healthy nervous system is based on normal body activity. Even minor defects in the nervous system may cause serious health issues. Nervous system disorder is not it is not taken as simple. You cannot ignore it. It is fatal. It is serious. Okay. First one is Alzheimer's. Uh, the cause of Alzheimer's would be accumulation of an insoluble protein in the neural tissues of the brain. Neurons get destroyed. So, if the neurons are destroyed, what will happen? Loss of memory. Right? Neurons are the one who is holding the memories, loss of memory, inability to recognize friends and relatives, inability to do routine works. They'll forget everything. Alzheimer's means they'll undergo, they'll lose memory. That's it. You remember that. And Parkinson's disease, destruction of specialized ganglions in the brain, production of dopamine decreases. Okay, here mainly remember production of dopamine decreases. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter which is mainly involved in the control of skeletal muscles. So if the production of dopamine decreases, loss of body balance happens and irregular movement of muscles happen, shivering of the body happens, profuse salivation happens, epilepsy, continuous and irregular flow of electric charges in the brain, epilepsy due to continuous muscular contraction, frothy discharge from the mouth, clenching of the teeth, like biting the teeth, following which the patient falls unconscious. Epilepsy is nothing but in our language it is called teeth. That is the continuous discharge of the electric charges in the brain. The patients frothy discharge, white discharge from the mouth, and then they start clenching their teeth and they fall unconscious. So next, the nervous system helps us to experience various stimuli as well as to respond towards them. Special care should be taken for patients who have neural disorders. So the receptors that receive stimuli promote the actions of the nervous system. It would be very interesting to know about the receptors, yes, and the sense organs in which they are included. Yeah. So the next coming chapters will have about the receptors and the organs, sense organs. So the exam, you don't leave a single thing, you have to read everything. Even this also, question and answer also you have to read. So let's go to the question and answer. The part of the brain which helps to maintain balance of the body. That would be medulla oblongata. scale down. Identify the relations and fill in the blank. Irregular flow of charge in the brain. Epilepsy, decrease in the production of dopamine. Is Parkinson's disease. Analyze the following situation and answer the question. A thorn pierces the foot, the leg is withdrawn, the thorn is taken. This is reflex action. So write the stimuli and responses. The stimuli is the thorn and the response is the leg withdrawn. So was the leg withdrawn after seeing the sensing the pain, identify the reflex action, prepare the illustration. The illustrations would be the stimuli, same thing, the stimuli. The receptor sensed it and generates the impulses, and the impulses is carried by sensory neuron in the and it goes to the interneuron through the ventral lobe in the spinal cord, and then the interneuron connects to the dorsal part where the motor neuron is present. Motor neuron again carries it towards the skeletal muscle and goes to the related skeletal muscle and does the does the action. Okay, that's it for today. This is actually a simple chapter. You can easily score marks. It's very easy. Sensations and responses. Good luck. Until next time.